how are you? Today I'm going to show you how to make kombucha. If you have heard about this excellent fermented food, it's great for your gut. It has all the good bacteria. It has the probiotics that we need in order to build that good bacteria in our gut and have a great digestion. It's very easy to make. Just you have to make your first batch, and from there on it will just be easier and easier. This is my second batch actually, and I'm so proud of myself because you will see I have here if you can see, I have a Scooby down here and a new baby over here that is growing from my kombucha. So I will let you know how to make this beverage, and you can drink it every day, like a quarter of a cup every day, and you will see the difference, how your tummy will thank you, how you will feel so good, and especially not inflamed, that feeling. So we will start talking about this fermented food. Is the activity of friendly bacteria, yeast, and enzymes, which are the probiotics, eat the sugar in the sweet tea that we will make right now and turn it in a tasty and slightly bubbly kombucha. So you will see, and we will use a very high ingredients, because here in my kitchen I love to use natural ingredients. So I have this blend of different dry fruits, and we will boil it and we'll make the tea for this fermented. You can use also the black tea bags for this fermented kombucha, but I will use the natural. I have some hibiscus and some other. You can see here I have like orange peel, and I have the apple, all the dehydrated fruits. So we'll first of all measure 1 cup, and we will pour it on our teapot. We will put some of these flavory fruits in here. I will put just a handful, 2 handfuls of this, just to make it a little bit strong, nice flavor. And then we'll pour some filter water. I will just make a cup because we need to get this tea in a cool. So we will just make 1 cup, and the rest, the 2 or 3 more cups, we will do it in cold water. So we'll have this ready to make it right now, and we will not need to wait until the tea starts to getting a low temperature, like 68 Fahrenheit to 85 needs to be, in order to put the Scooby or the starting the fermented. So we are boiling the water here. Next, I wanted to show you, and while this is boiling, also we will put, sorry, I forgot about putting a tea bag of a green tea, because I love green tea, and this will make it also nice, having a nice flavor. And well, then we will come up and see the Scooby. The Scooby is this, it's like how can I describe it? It's very, we'll try to take it out. Oops, you have to wash very well your hands. This is the old Scooby that was on the bottom. Can you see it? We will place it here, And then we will take this new Scooby. This is my baby Scooby. I'm so excited. So I want to show you. It's hard. It's not very soft. And well, this is so exciting. I will put a little bit of my kombucha in there just to let them sit for a little bit. We'll put it on the side. And another thing, just to make sure your kombucha is ready, you can try it out. You can see if it's, the flavor is a little bit sour, but not as sweet, because we will use sugar for the fermentation, but it's been there. I have to show you the date. I put it somewhere here. It's been sitting on March 2025. I made my second kombucha, so it's been how many days? We'll see. 6 days to the 31st, like 8 to 9 days, more or less. So I think it's ready, but we will try it, and also we'll use these strips. If you don't have these pH strips, don't worry. You don't have to have it. You can either taste it and see if you like the flavor. But we will just deepen this on the kombucha and see what are our results. It has to be below 3.6. So we have the chart here, as you can tell, and we are, if you see, we are in between these two. So we are below 3.6. So that is telling us that kombucha is ready. So we are going to make our second kombucha that you can drink it. And this process, I think our teapot is already boiled. So we will let it sit for 10 minutes. So the brew will get all the flavor. And while it's sitting there, I'm going to explain you the next step. I need a knife, so hang in there. Hello, so I went to get a knife because we are going to flavor this kombucha. I'm going to use fresh orange juice. So you can use orange juice, or you can use any juice that you can buy on the store, but I would recommend the cold press use. I always try to go natural, so we will use the squeeze juice. But before that, I just noticed it's a little bit too, it's not too much of water for my tea. So I will add another cup of water, and we will let it boil again, because I need to show you the next step. We will put some sugar in here. We will put, it's a quarter cup of sugar, so we'll measure that. Quarter cup of sugar. This is going to be for our next batch of kombucha, and then I will show you how we flavored the second batch. So I have the quarter cup of sugar, and once it turns off this teapot, I will pour a little bit of that tea in here, and we'll stir it while it's done. Before that, as I was telling you, you can try the kombucha. So we'll try a little bit. I'm using not a metal spoon, as you can see, because kombucha and the good bacteria don't like the metal that much. No? So we'll try it and we'll see. I think for me it's in a great, it has a little bit of fizziness as well, and it's a little bit touch of not so sugary now. It's more like um, a little bit vinegary, but not that much. So it's ready to go. We have already the teapot, so we'll pour the tea. You can see the color of our tea is already red, some of our tea, and we are going to stir this sugar until it dissolves all the way, because we wanted to have this nice sweetener is going to be the food for our Scooby. Scooby is like sugar, so they eat the sugar and convert it into these enzymes and probiotics that I was telling you about. So I think it's ready. We'll leave it in there a little bit more, just so it has more flavors. While we are doing that, I'm going to show you. I have a funnel, but as I was telling you, it's not plastic. So I got this plastic bag, and I'm going to just make a little bit of a little hole in here, and just put it in there, so the kombucha will not touch my funnel. And this is just an old way. If you have another funnel that it can work, will be great, but we didn't have it, so we'll use this instead. All right, so I guess it's okay. We are ready to start our pouring our kombucha. These are great bottles, because what the intention is, once you have the kombucha ready and go for another fermentation, like 2 to 3 days, once you put the flavor on it, just to get it a little more fizzy, you will take out all the air, all the oxygen from the kombucha, and these are very great sealed, these tabs. So we are going to put our fennel in there, and we are going to start pouring our kombucha. You can see we are going to pour it all the way. It's getting in there slowly, but we'll get it. No mess so far. You can see from here how it's going down. Nice. I feel like I'm doing beer or you know, some kind of wine also. All right, so we have almost halfway there of our kombucha, and we will add then the I was telling you about this the juice from this is going to be just the flavor that we're going to make. You can do it with so many different things. You can even add some pieces of strawberry, if you have some pieces of pineapple. I'm just adding some juice, and it has to be something sweet, because as you remember, the bacteria and the Scooby like the sweetener. So it will still ferment it these three more days. That will just leave it out in room temperature. It will still ferment it, so we'll see. All right. So we are going to add this juice very slowly. Excellent. since we have not that much, we can add a little bit more from this other batch that I have already also. From the same day of the 25th of March. So we'll take the Scooby out. Oh, we're trying to manage to get this Scooby. We did it. I wanted to show you. This is a little more, it's bigger. Can you see? And it has another color. Very nice. We'll put a little bit there. And we are just going to fill out this bottle. Not all the way because this can, you know, when it's being for a while there and sealed perfectly, it can make that so much bubbling that it can probably explode. So I will suggest put this on a cooler, inside a cooler, on a room temperature, and in a place on your pantry, but remember inside of a cooler because this can probably pop out if it gets a lot of fizziness in there. But it's ready. It's ready. Now we are going to put the date so we will remember when do we start it, and we will let it sit for 3 days. So today is April 3rd, so I will just put April 3rd, and we'll just with a little band, I will just place it in there, ready to go. We will put it on the side, and this is good. Now we are going to make our kombucha that you can make at home. So we have the tea already sit there for a while. Okay, so we are going to make the tea. We have a very concentrated tea in here with the sugar, you remember, and we are going to pour this other concentrate tea. Is around 2 cups. As I was telling you, we put around 2 cups in here. So it's you can see it's a little bit hot, but this is very cold water, so we will add another like another cup in here, and we will stir it so we can feel like if the tea is good to go, if it's below that temperature that I was telling you about. Still a little bit hot, and we will just, what we will do is just put it a little bit more water, cold water, and we are going to pour it over here. So if this is a new bottle, we are going to put it here so it will cool a little bit faster. We are making a little bit of mess, but it's okay. So we'll have half and half, more or less, of our tea. We are going to put a little bit more of the water, and this is with the sugar. You remember we have the sugar already in here, so this is a sweet tea. It's the perfect food for our Scooby. Ready! We have our tea. It's already cold. We've been here. They've been sitting there for almost 40 minutes, so they are really in a little bit colder than room temperature. So that's a great way to start our kombucha. So the tea is with the sugar, you remember? Now this is our old kombucha. This is the fermented kombucha that we took out the Scooby from there. So instead, if you don't have your old kombucha and you're doing a new kombucha, like your first batch, you will use white vinegar, distillated white vinegar. This time, since this is our second batch, we are not going to use the vinegar anymore. We are going to use this delicious fermented kombucha that is a little bit sour, but not as much as the vinegar. And this is like this will be the starter for our kombucha. So we'll pour half of this in here and the other half in here, and then we'll place the Scooby. So we'll measure more or less, will be, let's see, I will move it so all the good bacteria that is there alive will go. We have everything in there, the good bacteria in both of the batches, and now it's time to put the Scooby back into our kombucha. So we have this Scooby, you can see it's a big one. This is a big Scooby. We'll let it sit on top, and then we will place the other one, which is a little bit more wider. We'll place it in there as well. And now it's time to wrap it up. We will wrap it up with this a cloth, like cheesecloth, or you can use a coffee filter. And I'm just going to put like 4 layers of the cheesecloth because I don't want any bacteria to go into my kombucha. And you can dump it, you can put some, a little bit of the vinegar. Vinegar is a great, it will block from bacteria to come to the inside our kombucha. So just put a little bit of this the vinegar, and then we'll place it on top. If a little bit of the vinegar goes inside, don't worry, the Scooby like the vinegar, so it's okay. So we will wrap it up with a band, with a rubber band, so it is secure. You see, has 4 layers of this. The little bit more just on top to get it from the bacteria, and then we'll place the date. This is very important because this will stay a little longer than the kombucha that we just flavored. This has to sit for at least 4 to 7 days, or 7 days approximately. So today is April 3rd, so we're just going to put that, and we will place it here with the rubber band so it will be secure, our date. And we again place it in somewhere in our pantry that is in a room temperature. Now we are going to place this to the second one. Remember, just put a little bit of the vinegar, we place it on top, and we'll use the rubber band. We will place the date. Also, so we place both things at the same time, so we will not be worried. Secure this, you can tell it's very good, secure and ready to go. Voila! Have a great night, and hopefully you soon will make your own kombucha. Thank you for staying with me.